Randy and I met at my son's football practice. What I liked about him then was, his outgoing personality, the way he was with kids, the care, the kindness. It doesn't matter if you're his wife or if you're someone out in the community. He is the same all the time.
I started coaching basketball in 1999. I just came home from the Navy and I went to the Boys and Girls Club, started there, and then I started coaching at Greenfield Junior High. It was the first actual school team that I coached at. I try to be a coach that I always wanted.
It was a Sunday morning. I happened to wake up late. I'm rushing around and I'm kind of fussing, and I remember I went back in the bedroom and he said, "I don't feel good," and I said, "Okay," and then he got up and I went to make a cup of coffee, and then I heard him in the restroom getting sick, and then all of a sudden I heard a crash. I ran to the hallway and I couldn't open the door. I could barely crack the door, and I could see that he was laying on the ground. His feet and legs were up against the door. Our son's room was right next door, and he, heard the crash, and he opened the door, and I, yelled at him to call 911. I continued to push my way into the bathroom, and I was calling out for him, and he was not responding. And I reached over to check his pulse because he wasn't responding and there wasn't any pulse. And our son had the 911 operator on the phone. I remember the lady, the 911 operator, she really said boldly that I had to get him on his back and start CPR or he was gonna die. Had to have been God, because I don't remember how I even unwedged him. I just know I was over him starting compressions. The 911 operator actually, completely told me where to place my hands and started I started the compressions, and she kept the count and the pace for me, and our son keeping me going. "You got it, Mama, keep going, don't stop, you got it." At one point, he took a gasp, and I said, "Oh my God, he's breathing," and I said, he gasped. And she said, gasp is not a breath, keep going, And so then the EMTs arrived and they checked his pulse, still no pulse. Did some compressions for a little bit and then still no pulse, and then they shocked him. And then the firemen arrived. Then the firemen pulled him out into the living room and laid him flat on the ground and kept going with the compressions. Couldn't get a pulse, shocked him again. And then finally got a very faint pulse, and the EMT placed the tube and the breathing bag, and we got him to the hospital.
I remember waking up in the hospital, so I didn't know what was going on. I was in shock.
We went to the ER at Adventist Health. They continued to work on him there.
As time went by, my memories started to come back more and more. But at first, I couldn't remember a lot of stuff that happened.
It was hard. It was definitely a lot of prayer.
I want to give thanks to God, and then my wife, and then, like I said, the medical team that helped. My stay at Adventist Health, it was great. They took care of me all the way from the doctors to the nurses to the CNAs. They took great care of me.
The nursing staff and the physicians and everybody, from housekeeping to physicians, were amazing.
Everyone should know CPR across the board. I feel like it should be like you to get a physical to go to school when you first start going to school. Just the difference between life and death. I would like to give thanks to everyone at Adventist Health. They saved my life, and they're saving lives every day.